Big E is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Big moment, and just to show you how much Big E is loved backstage, WWE's official Twitter page changed their name to Big E is WWE Champion. That is a very good idea. I actually joined the movement. Now, it makes me wonder why WWE never did that before. I mean, they missed so many opportunities. So now we have Kofi Kingston as a former WWE Champion. We have Big E as a current WWE Champion. And Xavier Woods, give something to Xavier Woods, please. The man is entertaining. If you're not gonna give him championships, give him a custom PlayStation controller. Something, please. Please. He deserved it. So Big E becoming the WWE Champion was a great moment, and there's one thing left to say. Survivor Series, Bloodline, The New Day. Book it. Please. Welcome to Greatness of Raw. Now, Big E cashed in, and you can actually do just about the same by clicking that like button and increasing your Coco Jumbo's size up to 3 inches. I'm feeling generous today. Now, obviously, this was a very eventful episode of Monday Night Raw. Obviously, Big E was one of the biggest highlights. Now, I'm not sure what's bigger. Big E winning the WWE Championship, becoming the champion of the company, or Nikki A.S.H changing her name and even her theme song. We saw a 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match is Tamina. That's what the announcer said. And we heard this very beautiful theme song of Tamina. You know, the one that says, Woody, be, Woody, be, Woody. Yeah, this should not be in the video. I might cut it. I might cut it out. We'll see. Now, obviously, wrestling fans are going way too deep into this. The only reason Big E became the WWE Champion is because AEW almost beat Raw in ratings. Who cares? Who cares? As a matter of fact, I'm happy if that's the case. If Raw are actually reacting to ratings, AEW's success, and, you know, as the result of that, actually change their show, make it more entertaining, improve their show, I'm all for it. Now, Big E actually revealed before the show that he's actually going to cash in tonight, so that probably kept people watching, and obviously, I always prefer shockers, shocking moments. Big E cashing in out of nowhere on Raw instead of SmackDown, that would be a lot better, and that was my only problem with Big E actually cashing in. Something was missing, and it probably was, you know, the shock factor. I'm very happy for Big E. It was a beautiful moment. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, the show kicks off with Big E, Randy Orton, and the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. Big E reminds them that he's going to cash in tonight. It was more for the viewers, you know, don't change the channel. Please, our ratings are not the best. Big E might cash in. Please don't change the channel. We have Eva. She looks good. Riddle says, it's good to have Big E on Raw, but please don't cash in on my best friend Randy because he's my bro. MVP shuts Riddle up and says Big E won't be cashing in on Randy because Randy isn't winning the WWE title. Big E chose the wrong night to show up on Raw. He said Randy Orton used backstage politics to change the WWE Championship match. It was supposed to happen at Extreme Rules, but now it's happening on Raw. Nah, I think it was AEW. I think that's more likely. Orton says, I didn't do anything. I just said I wanted to face Bobby Lashley tonight, and they agreed because I'm Randy Orton. MVP says maybe you decided to show up because you're scared of Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. Lashley says I'm not. He's not scared of Brock Lesnar. So that was a little tease. Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Hopefully that was intentional. I'm sure it was. Big E puts his briefcase in Lashley's face. Lashley slaps it away and we see a big RKO. So that was your segment. A pretty decent way to open Monday Night Raw. Now, I honestly didn't believe that Big E is actually going to cash in. I just thought it was, you know, for the ratings. Just keep watching our show. We'll see what happens. I did not expect Big E to cash in. Now, it's kind of interesting how nowadays the cash-ins happen so quickly after Money in the Bank. I mean, back in the day, as we look at guys like Dolph Ziggler, he carried that briefcase, it seems like, for over a year. We saw a championship contenders match. Love these. Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler. So obviously Shayna lost all of her momentum, so this was not as important or interesting as I wish it would. And you know, I loved the finish, not because of what happened, but because of the commentary. So, you know, Charlotte Flair won the match, and, you know, Shayna Baszler lost the same way Nia Jax lost, by her partner's distraction. And the commentator said, it's almost identical to last week. Yeah, you can actually say that about the whole show. Then we see Alexa Bliss, and she gives Charlotte Flair a present. And they started saying yes and no. You know, she told Flair to take it and she said no, while Alexa Bliss said yes. And of course, the crowd started chanting yes. Now, I hate conspiracy theories and all of that BS. Something tells me this was intentional. Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, said that he doesn't want to, you know, infringe WWE's copyright, so he might not even use the yes chant. And we do see that chant in AEW, and WWE almost intentionally tried to make this whole segment about the yes chant. So forced. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was WWE's way of showing AEW that yes, Daniel Bryan is not in the WWE, but this chant is not about Daniel Bryan. It's the WWE Universe chant. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case right here. And of course, the present was a doll that looked like Charlotte Flair, and it's called Charlie, and Charlotte Flair didn't accept the present. So that was one of the very few moments of Alexa Bliss that I actually liked, and what I'm talking about is the promo. She says, everyone needs a friend, even a narcissistic, self-absorbed bitch like you. I don't know, I kinda pop for that. Then we saw a brawl, and Bliss stands tall. We saw Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky. Why? God, why? The babyface team won. Do you honestly care? Do you honestly care? We saw a New Day reunion. Everyone is excited. Big E asks for Kofi's advice, but Kofi says, you know, you're Big E. You know what to do. Yeah, I do. I gotta shake my ding dong and hit my finisher. And then shake my ding dong again. We saw the United States Championship Open Challenge. Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy. Twitter got to WWE. You know, he was trending for a whole day because he was in a 24/7 championship segment, which was absolutely ridiculous. And they responded with this, which is something I don't mind. They gave him a championship match, and of course he lost, that's obvious, but the match itself was actually really, really good. You know, we saw respect between the two, they shook hands, they even fist bumped during the match. From beginning till the end, I actually really enjoyed this one. They have a lot of chemistry, and of course Damian Priest won the match with his finisher. After the match, Sheamus rushes into the ring. So, you know, I'm not that really into Damian Priest versus Sheamus, I'm not really excited about that, but whatever. We're getting a draft, by the way. You know, I think it's on October 1st. So that's gonna be really exciting. I really can't wait for the shakeup. You know, we desperately need new faces on Raw, especially. You know, it might help, it might not, probably won't, but at least the show will look a little bit different. So I don't mind it. And again, Jeff Hardy, you know, obviously he lost again, but at least he was used in an important segment of the show. Truth be told, he deserves a lot more. We saw Tamina Snuka versus Nikki A.S.H, and again, like I've said during this match, we saw a tornado DDT, we saw a pin, 1, 2, a kick out, but the referee counted to 3, and Tamina's music started playing, and the announcer said the winner of this match, Tamina. I guess that wasn't supposed to happen, I hope so. That was odd. And I guess the announcer doesn't really pay attention to the match. He's watching Raw. Can't blame him. Then we saw Natalya versus Rhea Ripley. Oh my god, this is so exciting. And of course, Rhea Ripley wins the match. Then we saw Mansoor, Mustafa, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods versus AJ Styles, Omos, MACE, and T-Bar, in which the heel team won the match. Are they teasing a faction right here? I really hope not. We saw Doudrop versus Eva Marie, and of course, Eva Marie is the worst professional wrestler in the world. Her selling is just the worst I've ever seen, and she's clearly not a wrestler. I don't know who she is. She's pretending to be a wrestler, but what I'm seeing right here is not necessarily wrestling. We've seen better bumps from celebrity guests. We saw a Karrion Kross pre-recorded promo, and it was okay. You know, that was the first time we seen him on Raw. I guess it would be fine. They even made all of these matches look somewhat, you know, entertaining when it's, you know, edited like that. I don't feel it, man. I know he's good. I've seen some of his stuff in NXT. On the main roster, I'm gonna be honest, he's one of the most boring parts of the show. And we saw the WWE Championship match. Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley. That was pretty entertaining. And, you know, the question was, will Big E cash in? After a pretty entertaining match, Big E spears Randy Orton, wins the match, and attacks him after the match. He also attacked Riddle. Then we saw a slam to the announce table, and it seemed like he tweaked his leg. Now, whether that was scripted or not, I'm not sure, but it played a big part in Big E's cash in. So Big E comes out, he's cashing in, and, you know, Bobby Lashley doesn't want to wrestle because he's injured. Well, the match still continues. We even saw a spear, and for a second I thought, okay, they just wasted. Nope, Big E still has it. Of course, we saw the big end, and we have the new WWE Champion in Big E Langston. We saw the New Day celebrating with Big E. Great moment, loved it. I'm happy for Big E. Obviously, he deserves the WWE Championship. Like I've said, the only problem I have, it wasn't as shocking as I wish it was, and it did feel a little rushed. You can kinda tell this was not the plan all along. They came up with it in like max 2 weeks, but it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna challenge Big E for the championship. What kind of challengers are we going to get? Even though we saw guys like Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and basically everyone challenging Bobby Lashley, right now it's gonna be interesting again. It's gonna be a very different dynamic, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of weeks a big babyface, for example like Drew McIntyre, is going to turn heel, because Big E is not turning heel anytime soon. So that was your Monday Night Raw. You know, I said it was an eventful show, but that was only because of Big E. Let's be honest right here. That was only because of Big E. I've also uploaded another video today about banned WWE words, so make sure to check that out. And as always, the great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.